Hello everybody, sorry this video didn't come out sooner. I felt I needed a little while longer with Overwatch 2 considering it had quite literally the worst launch I've ever seen, and I wanted to actually get to play it to give it a proper video. So this is coming a few days later than I would have liked, but hey, it is what it is. Thanks for watching and thanks for all the support on my last video, and without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get one thing clear. This is not the Overwatch sequel. This is a revival update pretending to be a sequel for marketing purposes to an already existing PvP game. The Overwatch sequel that was supposed to release was a vision from the man Jeff Kaplan, and that vision was this. Overwatch 2 set out to redefine the game's sequel as we know it. A brand new PvE game on top of an already great PvP game. And while PvP would receive tons of new content, updates, reworks, and so forth, the main focus was always to be this new PvE experience. So how did we get here? This game isn't anywhere near being justified as a sequel, and if you say otherwise, I'm just gonna assume you are the silliest goose of all the silly geese. Now don't get me wrong, the new heroes feel great and I think are overall a good addition. The new maps are fantastic and live up to the amazing visual and gameplay experiences that we have become accustomed to. But if I'm being honest, it's been kinda difficult to look at the good this game has to offer due to the bitter taste all the bad has left in my mouth. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Overwatch 2 is a bad game, but is also a fun game. The bad is because Blizzard has done nothing to earn any good words from me or from you. They are a terrible company and they have consistently made me nothing but bitter towards them due to all the terrible choices they have made and anti-consumer practices they've added.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
The good, or fun, comes from the fact that it's Overwatch. It's pretty simple. If you're a fan of the gameplay Overwatch has to offer in the past, this game is probably going to do the job for you. It might even bring you back into Overwatch if you left, as they have taken steps to fix all the problems they have caused in the past. And I'd say they have done a decent job. But enough of this. You want to see the game. You want to know if it's good or bad. You want to see the good and bad. So let's get started. Overwatch 2 is the least rewarding game to play on planet Earth. Now you might be thinking, what do you mean? I've played Overwatch before. They have all these fun little systems that make it stand out, that improve quality of life and make you feel like you've progressed or done something special. And you'd be right, those systems do exist in Overwatch 1, which they deleted. The Battle Pass is a Battle Pass. Nothing special at all, it's just kind of there so you spend a little more money to get the cool Genji. The skins, which used to be earnable through quite literally the only good loot box system I've ever used, are now 20 bucks a pop, or take 8 months to earn, which again, frick you Blizzard, but that's just the obvious bad stuff. My favorite part of this video is definitely this part, where I get to talk about the decisions that make literally no sense, because at this point, it's just kinda comical to me how dumb Blizzard is by removing these harmless features that really made Overwatch stand out. You can now only rank up through the Battle Pass, which is just really stupid considering they had a really good ranking system already that offered really cool visual flair to your account and showed just how dedicated you were and how much time you've put in. There was literally no reason to get rid of this, and again, I'm just laughing at this point because it's so dumb. The only way to see what your rank was is this little part of your career profile, but if you're gonna let me see what my rank used to be, why even take it away from me in the first place? Let me continue it and get those ranks higher. It makes no sense. Remember in Overwatch 1, that thing called being on fire? That fun visual indicator slash flex that showed just how hard you were going ham? Again, a completely harmless feature that did nothing but add to the game and make it more fun? Well, they removed it. But the really funny part is they were so lazy when making this game, they didn't actually remove it. You can still hear your character screaming, "I'm on fire!"
Who's on fire? I am. I'm on fire.
There it is, I'm on fire.
So that means all they did was get rid of the visual part of being on fire, because as you can clearly see in game, when you pop off, it still happens. It just doesn't show it anymore. Like, what? Why even remove it? The decision making makes no sense at all. Another feature that made Overwatch stand out was the end card voting system and medals. It seems to me they tried to replace medals and end cards with the scoreboard, but again, why? Blizzard could have easily added a scoreboard and integrated medals into it, and end cards were a really fun feature that made you feel special when you got that epic, while also allowing you to vote others up when they stood out. But now that's gone. How's anyone gonna know you went off with Lucio Boops, or in my case, know just how many people I knocked back as Winston? So dumb. I remember playing Overwatch for the first time, and a lot of these cool systems were what made Overwatch stand out from other shooters in the first place. So now that they are removed, it just feels super generic and I'm left baffled. It's like they wanted to get rid of any visual indicator of someone standing out, and that probably is the case because heaven forbid you make other players feel less cool than the on fire guy or the guy with the cool border around his rank. Another really funny part of Overwatch 2 is how they changed basically every map's time of day to, in my opinion, trick players into feeling like Blizzard put more effort into these old maps for Overwatch 2 than they actually did. But in reality, it kind of makes a lot of the maps look worse. In my opinion, the outliers are definitely King's Row, Dorado, Lijiang Tower, and Route 66. But maybe you feel the maps look better in Overwatch 2, and that's fine. This is just my opinion. Now, I might get some hate from this from someone who's actually knowledgeable on this kind of thing, and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but hitboxes in this game feel really bad, and maybe I'm just looking into things more than I should. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but something, whether that be the projectile size of certain weapons, or again, wonky hitboxes, is off. I'm not a game developer, so I'm not gonna try to explain this point. I'm just gonna show the footage and let you decide. In an early version of this video script, I had a nearly 10-minute explanation to why I like 66 more than 5v5 and all the problems I think 5v5 brings to the table or will in the future. But I decided to dumb it down into caveman terms so more Overwatch competitive players could understand. Me like 2 tank more better than 1 tank. 2 tank have fun tank combos. 2 tank split tank responsibilities, make better team play. 1 tank still fun sometimes, but 1 tank put lot pressure on player. 1 tank do bad, team lose. No second tank there to help.
Man, they killed the tank. It's almost like we're gonna get steamrolled now.
This is just my opinion, but I've heard a lot of people say that 5v5 has made Overwatch's gameplay better than it's ever been. But I gotta say, I'm nowhere near that train of thought. The reason Overwatch 2 feels better to a lot of people in my opinion is because of the direction Blizzard took to their gameplay approach. 6v6 was never the problem, but Blizzard adding heroes like Doomfist, Moira, Brigitte, Orisa, Sigma, and Baptiste oversaturated Overwatch's gameplay with stun locks and shield spam. That, with other terribly designed abilities combined with really bad character reworks, looking at you Symmetra, severely harmed the state of Overwatch's gameplay. This was a problem caused by Blizzard themselves releasing extremely broken jack-of-all-trades heroes that had no downsides. When you release every other hero with tons of stun locks and shields, what do you think is going to happen? Your gameplay is going to be stun lock and shield spam simulator. It doesn't matter if it's 6v6 or 5v5. And this is why I'm still a bigger 6v6 fan, because I know 6v6 can be great in a balanced game. The problem is clearly these characters and their abilities, and with Overwatch 2 they have adopted a practically no shield and no stun lock approach to their game design to fix these issues, and that's great. But if Blizzard was going to rework most of the characters to get rid of this toxic gameplay experience that Overwatch 1 became, why turn it to 5v5 at all? While not as simple as balancing one tank, if you put the extra work into reworking more tanks like they did with Orisa, they could easily solve any shield spam for 6v6. They already got rid of practically every stun lock, so I guess what I'm saying is I wish they would have given 6v6 another shot. I miss my Winston with another tank. Playing as a solo Winston just gets kinda lonely. But they have other reasons for 5v5 as well. Blizzard wants Overwatch 2 to be more about individual battles and less about team play. I feel a weaker version of Overwatch team play is still present because obviously if you're the better team, you're still gonna win, but the shift to 5v5 makes it easier for players to carry, and that's what Blizzard wants. I'm personally a bigger fan of 6v6 because of the team play that was born from it, but I can understand why some people would like 5v5 more because they feel like they can carry and be more independent. To each their own, I guess. And while I don't think Overwatch's gameplay is the best it's ever been, that's just my opinion. Feel free to tell me in the comments why I'm wrong or why you like 5v5 the most. Now this, in my opinion, is the biggest issue facing Overwatch 2 as of this moment. When I made my video on the SMS requirement, you couldn't get in if you had a prepaid phone or prepaid phone provider at all. Now they have removed this requirement, but only for previous players of Overwatch 1 on PC or people on console who linked their Battle.net accounts anytime after June 2021. This means all new players to Overwatch still must enter their phone requirement, and that still means millions of potential Overwatch players and previous ones who didn't manage to link their account after June 2021 will never get the chance to play the game because of the phone provider they have. This is one of the dumbest things Blizzard has ever done, and it looks like they're gonna do it with Modern Warfare 2, which I'm just like, oh boy, I was really excited for that game, but now they're just gonna screw more people out of it. There are a ton of other issues with the phone requirement as well, with regions and people not being able to switch them if they move to different countries, parents not having enough phone numbers for their kids, and again, this generally affects low-income people the most. This requirement is just nothing but bad, and they really need to find a different way to block cheaters and smurfs. Personally, I'm all for hopping on the very plausible conspiracy theory that Blizzard just wants phone numbers so they can sell your data. But I'll say anything if it makes Blizzard sound bad, so don't take my word for it. And if you are one of the intelligent people who said, "Don't you guys have phones?" I encourage you to go read the comments on my previous video to see just how many people this affects. And if that is not enough to convince you this is an issue, do me a favor and please frick off. Now shockingly, this part of the video where I go over the good is probably going to be shorter than the section on the bad, but there are definitely things to love about this game if you can get past all the garbage Blizzard has pulled. If you just want to play Overwatch and have a good time, then this game is going to work for you. Outside of my personal preference for 6v6 over 5v5, the game is still a lot of fun and has a lot to offer through gameplay experience, especially if you have never played or have just taken a couple years off of Overwatch. I've noticed people like me who frequently still played the first game before its removal have a hard time liking Overwatch 2, and you can't blame them. Blizzard essentially said play Overwatch 2 or play nothing, then shut down the original, which I and many others still loved. Let's say you haven't played the original in a few years, or you haven't played it at all. I think this game is definitely going to be more appealing to you than somebody who's been playing Overwatch for a while. The things to love about this version of Overwatch is this. Less stuns, less shields. Push is fun. The new maps are outstanding. And the 3 new heroes are great and just as fun as any others they've added. Look, I want Overwatch to succeed, and that's why I'm so hard on it. I hope that Blizzard manages to perform a miracle with the rollout of the PvE side of the game next year, and hopefully they address most of the concerns with the community, but honestly, I'm not getting my hopes up, and I really haven't ever since we lost Jeff. Overwatch 2 has tons of potential, and I hope it becomes something amazing, but for now, I stand by what I said. While the gameplay can be fun and offer you fun experiences, overall a bad and unrewarding game right now. I hope Blizzard can fix it, but they haven't shown me so far they know how to keep Overwatch in a healthy state long term. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Overwatch 2's gameplay the best it's ever been? Is it the worst it's ever been? Does it really make you feel like Winston? Thanks so much for watching. More videos are on the way. I've been Multiple Muffins. Peace.